they give us knowledge. And they come from trees that purify the air that we breathe. But 100 years ago, instead of purifying the air, Nazi Germany sought to purify knowledge by burning books. Today in the United States, a new method of purifying knowledge is taking place. It's called book banning. It's an awful lot like book burning, just more environmentally friendly. And as with all good controversies, book banning has achieved the status of a holy war, where book banning and dead bodies go hand in hand. Texas, for example, leads the nation in banning books. And as a pro-life state, they also lead the nation in killing their own people, terminating the lives of individuals found guilty of crimes by a group of individuals who could not figure out how to avoid jury service. Hi, I'm Dr. Z, and in the following documentary, we focus on both sides of the book banning debate. While the truth is somewhere in the middle, we'd rather focus on extremes because they're more interesting, and who really cares about facts anyway? It is truly a tale of two cities. It is the age of wisdom and the age of stupidity. Thank you for speaking with us. So, what's your story?
Well, I'm in 5th grade and have been a student at Gilead Auto Elementary for over 35 years. Most of the books in my library have been banned, which has made it impossible for me to make it to the 6th grade. I've tried to find various ways to read books for free, but the books are not on the approved list, and I cannot pass the state exam and go to the next grade. So that is why I'm still here.
Why did you want us to hide your identity?
Death threats. Death threats by parents and local churches.
How did this all start? How did it come about?
I started elementary school years ago, just like the rest of the kids, but then things started to change. Parents got involved in telling our teachers how to teach, and if you have 30 students in a class, that means there are 31 different ways to teach something, I guess. Politicians got involved, and eventually most books ended up being banned, and a lot of our teachers have left. In fact, we no longer have librarians.
Why is that?
Death threats by parents and local churches.
Are you the only one in school that has failed to get to the next grade?
No, there are others. Most of the kids, in fact, in my class are the same age. And one of my classmates recently celebrated his 20th wedding anniversary.
So what is your school day like?
Well, I have to hitchhike to school. I can't get a driver's license, and I can't ride on the bus either because the seats are too small. So I have to hitchhike, and that's created some uncomfortable situations. First of all, not many people are going to pick up, a older man wearing a Sesame Street backpack to begin with. Secondly, it's led to some uncomfortable, incidents involving people who picked me up. Something I'd rather not talk about. Anyway, we play sports and then we reread the same books in the library, like books like Green Eggs and Brown Shirts. I think I've read it over 1,000 times. We also listen a lot, and a new teacher reads to us every day.
Why do you say new teacher?
Because our teacher eventually reads the book to us that is banned. And once the morality police find out, our teacher is arrested or disappears. What was that? Did you hear that noise? I think maybe I should go back to class before someone reports me as missing. I have to go.
Thank you for agreeing to talk to us. Why have you asked us to keep your identity secret?
The way I look at it, the less people know, the better.
So, what is your story?
I graduated from Gideon Auto several years ago, where I first learned to burn books. I found out that the more books I read, the more questions I had, and that just made life more difficult. So I came up with a final solution: book burning. It started out as a hobby, but it soon became a calling.
You are now banning books. Why did you stop burning them?
Gasoline. Although gasoline can help burn books quickly, it's pretty expensive. And one time I accidentally set myself on fire while burning books and a cross on somebody's yard during an ice cream social. I also stopped burning books because banning books has a lot more benefits. For example, it saves tax dollars, especially if you can stop the book from being ordered in the first place. This way we can spend the money we save on more important things.
Like what?
Well, like wars. Wars can be pretty expensive. Book banning also unifies mobs of people and unifies the community thanks to the efforts of the morality police.
But tax dollars are used to pay for the morality police, right?
Actually, no. The morality police are all volunteers, self-appointed, and are usually just one or two people. And you see, book banning is not a very time-consuming task. All you have to do is pick out some parts of the book and throw around words like liberty and patriot and children and grooming, and people eventually shut up.
Well, do these self-appointed members have any licensing or educational requirements?
No. In fact, the less education, the better. All you need is a desire to control what other people read.
What rules do you use to determine whether a book should be banned?
There are no rules. Usually anything we think violates traditional family values, has bad language, or sounds like socialism.
How do you define traditional family values?
I know it when I see it. Did you ever watch Father Knows Best, the black and white TV series from the 1950s where the white mother stays home to raise the kids and we obey our leaders? Yeah, that's a good example of traditional family values.
But television and politicians use bad language, and the Bible makes reference to a lot of sex and violence. Should they be banned too?
What are you, a socialist? Are you one of those woke people, those awakened by knowledge? I would rather not be aware myself, because it just makes life easier.
We spoke to a 50-year-old student at Gideon Auto Elementary who said that most of the books have been banned at his library, and he or she cannot pass the state exam. What would you say about that?
Who said that? Was it a boy or a girl? Girls should be at home raising children.
But if you ban books, what about the free flow of ideas that books can bring to people's minds? What about that?
Ideas are never free. Besides, book banning can help save the environment. Less books means fewer trees are needed. And book banning is better than burning because burning leads to global warming.
When did you learn that book burning actually contributed to global warming? From a book?
No, I saw it on a news program, or a politician said it. Now that you mention it, book banning is also good for politics. You can do anything you want if you can get people angry or scared.
Are you worried that book banning may lead to banning different ways of thinking or different kinds of people?
No, not at all. People being banned from a country? Yeah, right. That has never happened. What you socialists don't understand is that when you give people freedom to read whatever they want, It just leads to more problems. We would all get along a lot better if we just kept our heads down, not ask so many questions, and do as we are told. And if you don't like that, then maybe you should leave the country.